Hi y'all, welcome to my shop. Today we're going to turn a winged natural edge bowl. This one's out of Dogwood. This is not too terribly a difficult project for a novice bowl turner, but I recommend you start off something small like this before you tackle something large like this. Let's get started. So we're going to turn a natural edge or a live edge winged bowl with this dogwood blank. It's fairly dry. We'll probably wind up losing the bark. That's why I call it a natural edge as opposed to a live edge as opposed to a natural edge. We're going to mark this. We're going to figure out about where we're going to put the bowl, and because I want it off center. We've got three different approaches. We could the bowl will be a little bit smaller than this blank, the smallest one I've got, and I'm just using it to mark the center. If it's shaped like this, it's okay, but I think it's kind of boring looking, kind of like the one shown in the shown here. The other possibility is off centering it a little bit, which I think is an improvement, and have a flat wing. But what I think would look even better is having it off center with a curved wing. So that's what we're going to attempt today. So we're going to mark this thing as close to the center as we can get by centering this bowl, and I'm going to initially mount this with a woodworm screw, because I think that's the fastest and the easiest. Okay, I've got that hole drilled. I'm using this washer to give a little larger surface to rub against here, to give it some friction and some additional support. And I'm going to use a little paraffin that I keep handy in the drawer for such purposes. It makes it a bit easier to get it off, which sometimes can be a bit of a challenge. So I'm going to hold this on there and turn it on. I'm going to turn on the spindle lock and turn this. At the same time, I'll be able to tell that it's clearing the bedway. This is a mini lathe, 12 inches. So I'll do a bit of a test on the off-center bowl. All right, now it's registering up against the washer. I'm going to start by removing some of this bark. I'm not going to go very far because of that slope, and I'm going to develop the slope on the other side. So I want to remove this bark on this side, put a tenon on it, reverse it, and then develop the slope on the top side. I've got a speed of 300. Let's see if I can turn past this initial. I'm up to 450, and that's actually made it a little bit better, just under 500. We're going to come in parallel. See what we're getting. Okay, get a nice cut here and here. Okay. I want to get rid of a little more bark around here before I put the tenon on it. Alright, still got a little bark to get rid of. Let's move the tailstock support back a little bit. I'm going to mark this with the tenon I'm going to be using, just to get a feel for it. It's a little large, that gives us something to shoot for. Now it doesn't have any tailstock support, so I'm going to move this tool wrist up some. I'm going to back this out of the way. Alright, now we're going to come in here, make that turn. Now, take off just a little bit more. Well, that wasn't pretty. Okay, I've got that nice tenon. I've got a clean shoulder in there. I've got a flat shoulder for the chuck to go on. Actually, I think I probably want to clean that up just a little bit more. A little more flat. Okay, now we're ready to reverse it. The only reason we're ready to reverse it is so we can again do that slope on the other side. So I'm using the record powered chuck, and it has this very nice spanner wrench that'll give me something to hold on to. Got two ends. I gotta remember which end I'm using. I'm using the one for the SC3 chuck, not the SC. Or I'm using the one for the anyhow. You can see here we have a very snug grip. Can't get a piece of paper in there because of that flat surface. That dovetail should hold it very, very securely. Alright, I've switched from the original equipment manufacturer live center to this cone center in order that I can provide better support by going into that hole and actually holding it nice and snug. I lock this down, that way there's no risk of this coming off. Next thing I'm going to do is try to get a feel for where the outside of that bowl is going to be. So I'm going to come just inside the bark, right there, because I want a little bit of wood all the way around. Because I don't want to bring that slope any further up than that. That's the outside of the bowl, the inside of the bowl, and then this will be the rim protruding from the bowl. So let's see how that works. I'm going to work out here on the sides first, and I think, and bring this down, and then we'll move our way back. See what it looks like. Slow. Now it looks like it's slowed down a little bit on its vibration. I'm only at 500. I'm going to see if I can't turn it up some. 700. Really hasn't increased vibration much. Turning a lot easier. Alright, I'm beginning to get that nice curve I'm looking for. I want to bring it down even further, but now I can move the tool rest to get a little better support. Okay, it's looking. Kind of a rough cut. I've got to figure out how to smooth that out, but it's getting there. Getting that nice slope I'm looking for from here to here. I want it fairly flat here, so I don't want to come up much past about there for that slope. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and define that bowl shape now because I've got to bring this further into it. So I'm going to come on back into, there's the bowl shape right there. So let's come on straight on in with that. Okay, I'm liking that. I've got a few ripples that sanding will take care of, but I got a fairly nice Nice curve there. I think I want to curve it a little bit more from here to here, so let's try that. Okay, I got that nice shape I'm looking for, so I'm going to, and I can't put a recess in here for this chuck because these jaws are too large, so let me just go ahead and take this out, and we'll hope we can get the woodworm screw in there and parallel. I'm looking for the flats to go against the chuck jaws. Hope we can get it threaded right back where it was. In any case, it should register against threading on easier than it did the first time. It's finding those threads. It ought to register against this spacer and be just fine. Okay, first thing we're going to do is we've got the bowl that we want to come through the wing. So I need to kind of eyeball this straight down and mark it to make sure I don't get it too small. We'll actually have to fine tune that and make it a little smaller, but that gives us an initial place to start bringing the wings back, because we got to bring that wing back to, you know, a good inch on this side. Now here with this curve on the outside, think about the grain. The grain is going this way, so we're going to cut down from here down to the bottom, and then from this direction we're going to cut in from here down to the bottom. Think of it as almost like a spindle. We're going to go from here and then from here to do this cove in the middle. Alright, so here's the bowl. We're going to go straight in on this bowl and then cut in this way to somewhere about here. And then at that point in time, we're going to start coming in from here down to the middle. So we're going to come in, just pick up that cut here and go down to somewhere in here. So I'm going to do that by backing into it with a bevel. Bring it off. And come back. Bring it off. Push it in very slightly. Pick up the cut. Come off. Very slightly. Pick up the cut. Come in from this direction. Here. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Okay, I can bring the bowl back, I think, a little bit further. Now we've removed a lot of this this wood, so it's. I think we're at the point where we can probably turn the speed up a little bit. Okay. Press the pull. I go backward. Constantly checking. Looking pretty good. And blend those cuts. Alright, I know I'm doing a lot of bowl gouge switching as I try to find one exactly right. Since I've got a pretty good tool rest support, I'm not going over very far. I'm going to use a smaller bowl gouge, in this case a 3/8 inch, just to clean up this area here. So let's see how that works. Come in with a bevel. Yank of the tool, ride the bevel. That scraper's not going to do any good. I'll just sand that out. Okay. I pretty much got it. Now I need to turn it around and hollow it out. Okay, we're unthreading it off the woodworm screw. Now, I need to refine that shape just a little bit on that bowl rim to go inward just a little bit. It's coming out and I want it to go in. Okay, it's almost like it's a dovetail, and that joins well with the bowl below. Okay, so gotta keep your hand behind that tool rest at all times. Alright, so let's clean this up with a nice clean entry cut. Now we need to clean up this rough edge. I'm going to do that, I think, with a scraper. Just ease it in there. I'm getting ripples because I don't have enough leverage on this tool. I need a little bit bigger handle. I'm going to use this bottom feeder bowl gouge. See if I can't get a little smoother cut down there. Okay, I'm liking that. That's cleaned it up real well. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to change this profile. Instead of a sharp edge here, I'm going to round it over. Yank of the tool, round the bevel, open it up. Okay, I like that. With the edge just kind of takes your eye and flows right in. That's a nice wall thickness. I think that thins out makes the appearance of the wall finer. So I think we're ready to sand it. All right, we're gonna sand this now. Most of this is gonna be power sanding with the bowl not turning. Just support the wings with our hands to get rid of some of these tool marks. Leave this off. And I switched from a 3-inch to a 2-inch to get inside the bowl along the walls. And that looks good. Okay, we got it sanded through multiple grits. Now we're going to turn it around, and here's how we're going to do that. Okay, this problem was fairly easily fixed. I just used a Supernova 2, essentially the same chuck I was using before, but with 50mm jaws, makes it easier to get in. I'm using a piece of fun foam to kind of give it something to rest on. And we're going to bring up a 60-degree cone because it allows us to get in here to clean this tail, this scrap right here after we finish sanding. Okay, we're back to 120 grit in the 3-inch just to clean up this part of the wing. Then we'll come back with a smaller one. I had to quickly switch to a 2-inch to really get in here to deal with that curve. Now we're going to turn off this tenon, leaving a small nib. We'll remove it with a chisel and sanding. Not a big deal. Most of the weight's removed, so it's not that much, very little vibration. We'll get this up to, maybe 700. Stay behind the tool rest. Push our tool in. Go ahead and join this right here. Go down and further. Again, keeping your hand behind the tool rest. See if we can't get it to a little smaller nub. Up around 600. Just reach in here and get a little bit more. Okay. And we can knock that off with a chisel without any problem. Do a little hand sanding there. Doesn't take a whole lot to finish that sanding. If you want to know more about learning how to turn a bowl, I've got a complete playlist with a number of videos on bowl turning, including several of them on larger natural edge wing bowls. The playlist will be up here. Y'all stay safe. Come on back here.